Good morning. Today, let's solve the last exercise of chapter triangles. That is exercise 7.4. Exercise 7.5 is also there, but exercise 7.5 is optional, so we will not solve it. So, question number 1 of exercise 7.4. Show that in a right angled triangle, the hypotenuse is the longest. Here we have to show that in any right angled triangle, hypotenuse is the longest side. So for solution, nothing is given. So first let us consider a right angled triangle ABC in which angle B equal to 90 degree. You can see in the figure that we have taken triangle ABC, which is a right angled triangle, and angle B is 90 degree. Therefore, angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to 180 degree. We have learned angle sum property, which states that the sum of all the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Implies that angle A plus 90 degree plus angle C equal to 180 degree. As angle B is 90 degree, we replace it by 90 degree. So we get angle A plus 90 degree plus angle C equal to 180 degree. Further solving, we get angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree, that is equal to 90 degree. Implies that now 90 degree is which angle? Angle B. So we write angle B equal to angle A plus angle C. Therefore, angle B is greater than angle A and angle B is greater than angle C, because sum of angle A and angle C makes angle B, that is 90 degree. So obviously it is that angle B is greater than angle A and angle B is greater than angle C also. Now, side opposite to angle B is AC. So we write AC greater than BC, because BC is the side opposite to angle A. Similarly, AC greater than AB, because AC is the side opposite to angle B and AB is the side opposite to angle C. So in all case, AC is the greater. AC is greater than BC also, and AC is greater than AB also. Why? Because the side opposite to larger angle is longer. Therefore, AC is the longer side of triangle ABC. But AC is the hypotenuse of right angle triangle ABC. Thus, the hypotenuse is the longest side in a right angled triangle. Yes. Let's once see in the figure also. We proved that angle B is greater than angle A and angle C, both. Now side opposite to angle B, this is our angle B. Side opposite to angle B, that is AC. So AC will be greater than angle A also. So side opposite to angle A will be this side, that is BC. This is our side BC and this is our side AC. So AC greater than BC. Similarly, we have side opposite to angle B is again AC. This is our AC. This is opposite side, and side opposite to angle C is AB, this side. So AC is greater than AB. So in all, AC is the greatest side, because AB is also smaller than AC and BC is also smaller than AC. But in right angle triangle, you can see that here AC is the hypotenuse. Therefore, hypotenuse is the longest side. Next, question number 2. In figure, sides AB and AC of triangle ABC are extended to points P and Q respectively. Also, angle PBC is less than angle QCB. Show that AC is greater than AB. Let's see the figure. Here You can see in the figure that side AB. Here side AB is extended to point P. Here point P is given. Similarly, side AC is extended to point Q. And it is also mentioned that angle PBC, this angle PBC is smaller than angle QCB, this angle. And we have to prove that side AC is greater than side AB. Now first we write the given. For solution, as we don't have to prove it, we write it in triangle ABC. Angle ABC plus angle PBC equal to 180 degree, that is linear pair axiom. We can see in the figure that angle ABC, this angle, this is a straight line formed, so angle ABC, this is our angle ABC plus angle PBC. When we add these two angles, we will get 180 degree. Similarly, here also we will get angle ABC plus angle QCB. This is our angle QCB, that we will get 180 degree according to linear pair axiom. Implies that angle ABC equal to 180 degree minus angle PBC. Let it be number 1. Similarly, angle ACB plus angle QCB equal to 180 degree according to linear pair axiom, as I showed you right now in the figure. Implies that angle ACB equal to 180 degree minus angle QCB. Let it be number 2. But it is already given that angle PBC is less than angle QCB. Implies that 180 degree minus angle PBC will be greater than 180 degree minus angle QCB. Now, as we know that if we subtract a smaller number from a number, we will get big number as answer. And if we subtract a bigger number from the same number, then we will get a smaller number as answer. So we write 180 degree minus angle PBC is greater than 180 degree minus angle QCB. But we know that 180 degree minus angle PBC is nothing but angle ABC. Similarly, 180 degree minus QCB is nothing but angle ACB. So we replace it further and we write it. Therefore, angle ABC is greater than angle ACB from 1 and 2. Now, side opposite to angle ABC will be greater than side opposite to angle ACB. Now side opposite to angle ABC is AC, while side opposite to angle ACB is AB. Therefore, from 3 we get AC greater than AB. Hence, proved. Next question, number 3. In figure, angle B is less than angle A and angle C is less than angle D. Show that AD is less than BC. It is already given that angle B is less than angle A and angle C is less than angle D. We have to prove AD is less than BC. Let's see the figure. Here you can see it is given angle B is less than angle A and angle C is less than D. For proof, in triangle OAB, yes, we can take care triangle OAB. This is our triangle OAB. Yes, there are two triangles. We are selecting one triangle first, OAB. Here, this is our triangle OAB. It is already given angle B is less than angle A. B, this is less than A. When angle B is less than angle A, obviously opposite side of angle B will be less than opposite side of angle A. That is opposite side of angle B. Let me clear it first. Opposite side of angle B, this is our angle B, opposite side will be AO. Similarly, opposite side of angle A will be OBO. Yes. So in triangle OAB, as it is given, since angle B is less than angle A, implies that AO is less than BO. Let it be number 1, because side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. Similarly, in another triangle COD, you can see angle C is less than angle D. Now, opposite side of angle C, this is our angle C, so opposite side of angle C will be OD, and opposite side of angle D will be here OC. So we write, implies that OD is less than OC. Let it be number 2. Same reason, that side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. Now we add equation 1 and equation 2. So adding equation 1 and 2, we get AO plus OD is less than BO plus OC. Yes, now when we add AO, this is our AO plus OD. Yes. Similarly, on right hand side we add BO plus OC. Here this is our BO plus OC. Whole line we will get BC. Now AO plus OD means it will become AD, and similarly BO plus OC will become BC. That is AO plus OD is AD, so we write AD is less than BO plus OC, that is BC. So we write AD less than BC. Hence proved. Next, question number 4. AB and CD are respectively the smallest and longest sides of a quadrilateral ABCD. See figure. Show that angle A is greater than angle C and angle B is greater than angle D. Yes, you can see in the figure that a quadrilateral ABCD is given, in which AB is the smallest side and CD is the longest side. So for solution, first we write the given. In quadrilateral ABCD, AB is the smallest side and CD is the longest side. We have to prove two different proofs, so we take it at number 1 and 2. So number 1, to prove angle A greater than angle C. Here we do a construction in the figure, that is we are joining AC. You can see in the figure that we have joined here AC. Here A and C are joined, and we have given different numbers to the angles. So we write construction join AC. We have to in proof in triangle ABC. Now when we are joining AC, we get two different triangles. So first we select triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, AB is less than BC, because already it is given that AB is the smallest side of the quadrilateral. So naturally the remaining sides of the quadrilateral will be greater than AB. So AB is less than BC. Now opposite angle of AB will be angle 2, and opposite angle of BC will be angle 1. Here we can see in the figure that opposite angle, this is our side AB. So opposite angle of this will be angle 2, because we have selected triangle ABC, not whole quadrilateral. Similarly, opposite angle of side BC, this is our side BC, so this will be angle 1. So we write angle 2 less than angle 1, because angle opposite to smaller side is smaller. Let it be number 1. Again in triangle ADC. Now another triangle we have selected, triangle ADC. Here you can, again it is given that AD is less than CD. Why? Because it is already given in the question that CD is the longest side of the quadrilateral. So obviously remaining sides of the quadrilateral are smaller than CD. So we write AD less than CD because CD is the longest side of the quadrilateral. Now opposite angle of AD, this is our side AD, so this will be angle 3. Similarly opposite angle of CD, this is our side CD, so its opposite angle will be angle 4. So we write angle 3 less than angle 4, implies that angle 3 is less than angle 4. Angle opposite to smaller side is smaller. Let it be number 2. Now adding 1 and 2 we get. Now 1 we have already seen, angle 2 less than angle 1, that was our number 1, and number 2 is angle 3 less than angle 4. When we add these two we get angle 2 plus angle 3 is less than angle 1 plus angle 4. Yes. Now we reverse it, we write angle 1 plus angle 4 is greater than angle 2 plus angle 3. This we can write because you know that smaller and greater, you understand that thing. So angle 1 plus 4, that is angle, it will become angle A, and angle 2 plus 3 will become angle C. So we write angle A greater than angle C. Yes, we reverse it, so it becomes angle 1 plus angle 4 is greater than angle 2 plus angle 3. But as we have seen in the figure, angle 1 plus angle 4 is angle A, and angle 2 plus angle 3 is angle C. So we write angle A greater than angle C. Hence proof. Proof number 2, here we have to prove angle B greater than angle D. Again here also we do the construction. We are now joining another hypotenuse, that is join BD. For proof in triangle ABD, let's see the figure. Here we have joined another diagonal of the quadrilateral ABCD, that is BD. You can see in the figure and have given numbers to the respective angles. Now we have selected here also again diagonals divide the quadrilateral into two triangles. So first we have selected first triangle, that is triangle ABD. Now in triangle ABD, AB is less than AD. Why? Because again it is given that AB is the smallest side of the quadrilateral. Now AB, opposite angle of AB will be angle 3. This is our side AB. So opposite angle of side AB will be angle 3. Similarly opposite angle of side AD will be angle 1. So we write angle 3 less than angle 1, or we can also write angle 1 greater than angle 3. Let it be number 1. Now in another triangle, that is in triangle BCD, again CD is greater than BC because CD is the longest side of the quadrilateral. Again CD is greater than BC, so side angle opposite to CD, this is our CD, angle opposite to CD will be angle 2. Similarly angle opposite to side BC will be angle 4. Yes. So angle 2 greater than angle 4. Let it be number 2. Why? Because angle opposite to the longer side is larger. Now adding 1 and 2, you can see 1 and 2, when we add we get angle 1 plus angle 2 is greater than angle 3 plus angle 4. You can clearly see in the figure that angle 1 plus angle 2 is angle B. Similarly angle 3 plus angle 4 is angle D. So we further write angle B is greater than angle D. Hence proved. Question number 5. In figure, PR is greater than PQ. PS bisects angle QPR. Prove that angle PSR is greater than angle PSQ. Here you can see the figure. In triangle PQR, PR is greater than PQ. Further, it is also given that PS is bisector of angle P. Here you can take angle QPR, and we have to prove that angle PSR is greater than angle PSQ. Here you can see numberings are given to the respective angles, so that it becomes easy for us to solve the question. Now for solution, first we write the given. In triangle PQR, PR is greater than PQ and PS bisects angle QPR. We have to prove angle PSR greater than angle PSQ. Now for proof, it is in triangle PQR, it is already given that PR is greater than PQ. So first we take the whole triangle, that is PQR. This whole triangle we are selecting PQR. Already in it is given that PR is greater than PQ. So opposite angle of PR will be angle 3. Similarly, opposite angle of PQ will be angle 4. So we write angle 3 greater than angle 4 because angle opposite to longer side is larger. Further, we can also see that in triangle SPS is the bisector of triangle QPR. Yes, bisector means divides the given angle into two equal angles. Therefore, angle 1 will be equal to angle 2. Let it be number 2. Yes, we can see in the figure, SPS is the bisector of angle PQPR. We get these two angles, that is angle 1, this is our angle 1 and this is our angle 2. These two angles we get equal. Further, we can also see in the figure that angle 6, this is our angle 6. Angle 6 equal to angle 1 plus angle 3. Why this is there? According to exterior angle property of a triangle. It is seen clearly in the figure that angle 6 is the exterior angle. So, exterior angle is the sum of opposite interior angles. So you can see in the figure that 1 and 3 is the opposite interior angles of angle 6. So we write angle 6 equal to angle 1 plus angle 3. Similarly, we can write now another, that is angle 5. This is also exterior angle of this triangle. This is our triangle PSR. Again, using the exterior angle property, we will get angle 5 equal to angle 2 plus angle 4, because again this is opposite interior angles of angle 5. So we write angle 5 equal to angle 2 plus angle 4 according to exterior angle property. So we write now in triangle PRS, angle 5 equal to angle 2 plus angle 4 using exterior angle property. And in triangle PQS, angle 6 equal to angle 1 plus angle 3. Again, according to exterior angle property, we get angle 6 equal to angle 1 plus angle 3. Further, adding 1 and 2 we get 1 and 2 we get angle 3 plus angle 1 is greater than angle 4 plus angle 2. Now you can see that angle 3 plus angle 1 is what angle? Angle 3 plus angle 1 is nothing but angle 6. Similarly, angle 2 plus 4, 4 plus 2 is nothing but angle 5. So we write in place of angle 3 plus angle 1, we write angle 6 is greater than angle 5. Hence, now that is angle 6 is which angle? that is angle PSR, and angle phi is which angle? Angle PSQ. So we write angle PSR greater than angle PSQ. Yes, it's seen in the figure itself that angle 6. This is our angle 6, that is angle PSR. Similarly, angle phi, that is this angle is angle phi, that is PSQ. So we write angle PSR greater than angle PSQ, hence proved. And the last question of this exercise, that is question number 6, show that of all line segments drawn from a given point not on it, the perpendicular line segment is the shortest. Yes. Here for solution, we write the given ourselves, because we have to suppose and then we have to show it. So we have consider a line L and a point A not lying on it. We also do the construction here. Draw AB perpendicular to line L. Take another point C on line L. Join AC. And we have to prove that a perpendicular line segment is the shortest line segment. That is, according to our supposing, we will get AB less than AC. Let's see the figure. Here you can see in the figure that A is a point outside line L. Here line L is given. A is a point outside. We are drawing AB perpendicular to line L, and we have selected one another point C on line L, and then we are joining A to C. We have, for proof, in triangle ABC, angle B is 90 degree, because already we have constructed, by construction we get angle B equal to 90 degree, because we have constructed AB perpendicular to line L. So angle B will be 90 degree. Now in triangle ABC, we know angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to 180 degree according to angle sum property. Now angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree minus angle B. We transpose angle B on the right hand side, so plus will become minus. So we get angle A plus angle C equal to 180 degree minus angle B. But we already know that angle B is nothing but 90 degree. Therefore further we write 180 degree minus 90 degree, that is equal to 90 degree. Now angle A plus angle C will be equal to 90 degree. That is, angle C is less than 90 degree, and of course angle A will be also less than 90 degree. But as according to the question here, we don't need angle A, so we use only angle C. So we write angle C less than 90 degree. Implies that angle C is less than angle B, because angle B is 90 degree. So in place of 90 degree we write angle B. Now side opposite to angle C. Here is our angle C. Opposite side of angle C will be AB. Similarly, here is our angle B. Opposite side of angle B will be AC. So we get AB less than AC, because side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. This is, we have selected only one point on the given line. We can also select several other points, and we can prove that AB, that is perpendicular line segment, is the shortest line segment. Similarly, if we take several other points D, E, F, etc. on line L and compare each of line segments, that is, we will get line AD, line AE, line AF, etc. with one perpendicular line segment AB, we find line segment AB is the shortest. Let's understand this with figure. Here you can see in the figure that we have selected several other points, then C also. First we have proved with point C. Now we have selected point Here we have our point E, F. This is selected point D, E, F. In the previous proof, we proved that AB is shorter than AC, because we will get always only one perpendicular line with any given line. You can see now when we join this outer point A with different points on line L, that is we will get AD, AE, AF, similar other points. Similarly, we can prove that these all line segments are greater than AB, or you can write AB is smaller than all the given another line segments. Therefore, AB will be less than AD, AB will be less than AE, AB will be less than AF, etc. Means whatever points you are selecting, however what number of points may be there, always you will get AB shorter than each and every line segment. Thus, the perpendicular line segment AB is the shortest line segment. Dear student, please copy all the questions of this exercise with solution in your regular CW. One more important instruction, that exercise 7.5 is the optional exercise, so we will not solve. Further, according to the revised syllabus for 2020 and 21, as per the deduction from this chapter, proof of theorem 7.1 and whole topic of inequality in a triangle, that is the last topic, also exercise 7.4. This is deleted portion. So this portion you will not learn by heart for your this year exams. Yes, but as it will be useful in further classes, we have already explained the topic. But again I repeat that proof of theorem 7.1 and last topic, that is inequality in a triangle, along with exercise 7.4, you don't have to learn by heart. Only this is for our knowledge that we have learned. Yes. Thank you.